Set my STEEZ, know what's going on. Yes, Lord, bringing you round 11. Double ones, 11. If you don't understand the Southern lingo yet. Round 11 tips, man. I've not been doing so great in tips. I say that. Last week, got 5 out of 9 right. And while it is over half, still not quite good enough to my standard, man. It's been tough, man. It's been tough. Middle of the pack teams really been getting me, man. It's kind of easier to tip the top teams, but when it comes to the middle of the pack teams, you really never know which direction they're about to go, man. So hopefully I do a better job this week, although it does look like some more tough matchups, man. The unpredictability is killing me, bro. So just go ahead and get into it, and y'all wish me luck, man. I need that duck luck, if you don't mind. If you know, you know. If you don't know, go ahead and tap into the lives, and you're going to know. All right. First game, we have Geelong at GMHBA Stadium hosting the Western Bulldogs. And this is actually a very interesting matchup, man. Dogs been going so well, bro. I'm inclined to tip the Dogs. Both teams coming off a stellar win. Geelong really whooping Port badly. I believe that was at home as well, wasn't it? Well, whooping Port in Adelaide Oval, which I tend to give Port credit there. But you tip them and they get fucked up, man. So, yeah, Geelong looking like a nice tip, but also at the same time, Dogs just looked marvelous against Essendon, man, last week. Really stopping all the ball movement, making them move sideways so much to the point where they weren't moving forward, and defense stood up, bro. So I actually think I'm about to go to Dogs, bro. It's probably against popular opinion, man, given it's at GMHBA and that home ground stadium gives Geelong a very big advantage, but I'm just going to stick with the Dogs just because I think they've been playing better in most recent times than Geelong. Not to take anything from Geelong because they've been playing well as well, and the only team to give Collingwood the one loss that they've had in all this long stretch of games. So since opening round. But nonetheless, I just have to tip the Dogs, and hopefully it just doesn't bite me in the ass, man. I just think they're just a more cohesive team at the moment. This is the Bailey Smith Bowl too, so you never know how Bailey Smith about to go as well, man. But I think Dogs I don't know if they took it personally, his comments that he made, although he may not have been lying. But I think I'm just going to tip the Dogs this game. Plain and simple. All right, second game we got Essendon versus Richmond. Oh my God, Essendon got exposed last week. I've been saying all along they're frauds. They've proven that going against the Dogs. Dogs aren't the best team in the competition, you know what I'm saying? I don't think so at least, but they made the Dogs look like the best. And Essendon's been skating by these little weaker teams, but to the lower bottom of the table teams, and they're coming up against Richmond, man. And Richmond is bottom of the table team, but I will say this is a gettable game, I think, from the Richmond perspective, if you ask me. But I think I will go ahead and back Essendon to win this game, just because they've proven they can beat the bottom teams. But you know, don't think it's just gonna be an ass whooping, because I don't think Richmond will just roll over for this game, considering that it's a Victorian clash, if you will. It's a pretty big game. I would like to think for both teams, and so I'm just gonna go Essendon, man. I could be wrong here, but I'll go ahead and back Essendon nonetheless. Next game of the round, we have GWS versus Carlton at Marvel Stadium, bro. Oh my God, bro. GWS. Carlton, y'all don't deserve my tip, man. Y'all don't. Just be playing terrible, bro. You never know what you about to get. I'm not about to tip Carlton this week, bro. GWS, I think they're just the better team at the moment. They're looking like a team that's, 5 to 8 range, I would like to say. Carlton hasn't been looking like that. Carlton at their best can potentially be GWS, but GWS look like they kind of flipped the script a little bit and seem to be gaining momentum. At least that's what I'm expecting from them after the last couple weeks. And so with that being said, I'm just going to go GWS, man. Oh, Carlton. All right, next we have Brisbane versus the Hawks at MCG. And this will be a very interesting game, actually. Brisbane, I don't know if I really trust Brisbane, man. I still don't trust Brisbane. Lost to Melbourne last week. Hawks also come off a loss as well, I believe against Gold Coast, right? Against Gold Coast. But I'm going to tip the Hawks to win this game. We could be in for a cracking game between the two. I'm just not sure if I trust Brisbane yet, bro. Like, tying against North, drawing against North, losing to Melbourne. It's like these teams aren't teams that necessarily you're supposed to be losing against. You're the reigning premiers, bro. You're supposed to be like that, bro. And you just very consistent efforts, bro. You know, they struggled early in the season, starting games, and you know, you were getting heralded for being a good team as far as being able to wrestle the lead back and winning games, and now you're losing to teams or drawing against teams that you have no business really doing so against. So just the inconsistent effort has me wanting to go to Hawks, although they have their own struggles as well, not being able to start games well, which really looks like what Brisbane was doing in the beginning of the season. But I think I'm gonna just have to go with Hawks, man. Just, I don't know. It's not at the Gabba, bro. Although that doesn't even fucking mean nothing to me anyway. But it means something to somebody else. So fuck it, I'm going to Hawks. Next game we have North versus Collingwood, and Collingwood is about to run all over these boys, I think, man. North is getting Paul Curtis back, which is one of their top 3 players, I think, from early in the season. Before the suspension, I think he was going very well. But I think Collingwood's just too much. We all know Collingwood's the monster, man. And Josh Dacos had a great week last week. And, you know, you just never know which Collingwood player or players will really step up in the moment. And all of them seem to be capable of doing so, whether it's Pemberbury, whether it's Steel Sidebottom, Nick Dacos, Josh Dacos. It's like it doesn't matter, bro. It's an endless cycle of players who perform, bro, and I don't think North was really quite ready for that. Too much experience, the oldest side in the league, experience-wise, and you know, you're going to get a team that doesn't have the most experience, but you have some players who have been there, done that. But I still think it's going to be too much for Collingwood, man. I think they'll just be able to run them boys out the gym, if you will. So Collingwood, man. Next game we got Freo at Optus versus Port. Oh my God, bro. I hate tipping Port, bro, because they don't fucking know whether they want to win, lose. They really are in shambles, bro. I did not expect them to get their ass whooped the way that they did last week, especially at home. Freo, man. Oh my God, Freo too. Oh my goodness, this is fucking. I'm about to be so ass at tips this week, bro. I'm telling you. But I'm gonna tip Freo, man. And watch, Port's gonna win this week, but I'm tipping Freo. I think Port has all the tools to be able to win. I just don't have no idea what is going on over there, man. And coming off that last loss, I'm not about to tip them boys, man. Especially if you can't win at home, I don't think you can win on the road like that, man. Freo got a good win against GWS last week, which was not necessarily what I really expected. But, you know, if you're capable of beating them, you're capable of beating this Port team that we've been seeing this season. So let's go ahead and go Freo that game. Adelaide Oval, we have Adelaide Crows versus the West Coast Eagles. And West Coast got the first win last week, man. So very impressive, very nice. Although I think that win streak will come to an end this week, man. Saints are not quite the same team as Adelaide. Adelaide is a much better team, much more cohesive, much more dangerous attacking, and have much more firepower, man. And yeah, I think the forward line, I keep on saying it, the forward line and the midfield mix is just probably going to be way too much for West Coast, to be quite honest. Although a lot of their players did stand up and have great games, still at the end of the day, I think Adelaide is a much more quality team than West Coast is at the moment in their journey and in their run to be relevant. So let's go Adelaide in that game, especially at home. Next we have Melbourne versus Sydney. Oh God, Sydney! I fucking hate Sydney right now. Tough, actually. This is actually a tough game, man. I think I'm gonna tip Sydney to go ahead and get their season back on the road. Do I though? Fuck it, let's go Melbourne, man. Just out of spite from Sydney and how they were just on some bullshit last week. Yeah, simply said, man. I don't need to complain about Sydney again. Y'all heard that last week. all those factors going against Carlton, and they still ended up winning by just a short amount of points, I want to just go Melbourne that game, man. I think they structurally well, and it's gonna be. I think this game will come down to which forwards, how many of the forwards can really get involved. Considering I think both teams are kind of lacking in that area, or if they're midfielders, or which midfielders can get on the board more goals, or really what forwards want to stand up in the moment. So let's go Melbourne. Next game we have Gold Coast versus St Kilda. And a couple weeks ago I'll be inclined to maybe take St Kilda, but not even close, bro. Losing to West Coast, they looked terrible. No slight to West Coast, but they didn't. St Kilda did not look good. I'll say that. And they've had games in particular where they've looked like that, man. And I think Gold Coast is a team that you really can't lapse against. And even their best footy, I think, from the St Kilda Saints, I don't know if it's still even good enough to beat the Gold Coast Suns, man. Considering what they have down there and how well they are, and the influence that John Noble and Dan Rioli and Matt Rowell, and you could just list a whole bunch of players that have potential to just break the game open against the Saints. And so, for that being said, I'll go ahead and tip Gold Coast that game. And that looks like that was the last game of the round, man. So hopefully I get fucking 6 out of 9. I'm praying for at least, bro. But these games are very iffy, man. Middle of the pack teams, top tier teams, bottom tier teams going to get each other in the same tier. So you never know how it's going to go, man. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube shit. We'll be live. Make sure you check these games out, man. Yes, Lord.